Hey world, listen. Take a little walk with me. I just have to share a few ideas. What if there was just one thing in your life that if you embraced it, it would help you fix everything else in your life? That's not even hypothetical, because we have an answer. And the answer is personal development. This is the first install of the series of Daily Insight. The purpose of Daily Insight is just to give you something to think about throughout the day, in hopes that you'll integrate that into your life and make your life better in whatever way is necessary. But I believe, and people like me, we believe that personal development is the key to everything. Personal development is the process of changing yourself on purpose. And there isn't any domain of your life that personal development will not help you with. But in the interest of brevity, I want to give you a quick overview of personal development. It basically boils down to two things. And these two things affect how you do everything. Number one is your perspective. And number two is your approach. Perspective and approach. How you see it and what do you do about it. Those are the two major components of personal development. It's in line with every other principle of balance. You can think about it the same way you would think about positive, negative, yin, yang, up, down, etc. Those two things are the basis of personal development. And now there's three tenets of personal development. Two of them fall under your perspective and the third one falls under approach. And for our purposes and for simplicity, it boils down to three words that start with the letter A. Number one is awareness. Number two is ambition. And number three is action. So your perspective is broken down into the first two A's. That is ambition and awareness. Not in that order. It's awareness and then ambition. I'll do a deep dive on each one of those, and then the principles and concepts that apply to them and how you can apply them to the different domains of life. But understand that it starts with your awareness, what you know about. And then it goes to your ambition. That's when we start talking about setting goals and what do you want. It's crucial that you have awareness before you have ambition. Otherwise, you'll start shooting for things that don't make any sense. And then the last thing, when we deal into the second major principle of personal development, when we deal with approach, even though approach already starts with an A, there's another A that applies to it, and it is action. It's action. You got to do stuff. A lot of people think that motivated people and, self-help people, that we just sit around and deny reality and think about how things are supposed to be and just ponder all day. And the short answer to that is no. No, personal development is action-oriented. It's action-oriented. It only dwells in philosophy and psychology in order to enhance your perspective, so that when you do take action, you're taking skillful, deliberate, targeted action that actually gets you the result that you want. So we're going to talk about all those things. But just for now, for your daily insight, I want you to embrace those ideas. When you look at how your day goes and what you deal with, be mindful of your perspective, and then be mindful of your approach. How do you see it? And then, based on how you see it, what are you going to do? And I want you to also be aware of the 3 tenets that it breaks down into, which is awareness. Here's a spoiler: self-awareness. And then we have your ambition. You gotta work on ambition. You know, there's a quote that says, if you don't have a target, I don't want to botch it. I'll come back to the quote. But you got to have ambition. You got to pick something, right? Your perspective is going to make you skillful in that selection, but don't sit around so long working on awareness that you never actually choose anything, because that's silly. It'll be better to pick something and start working on it and then find out that it's wrong than to wonder if it's wrong. And then once you have your ambition, and your ambition can be big or small, it doesn't matter. You can have an ambition for the day, an ambition for the hour, an ambition for the moment, a goal for the next 10 minutes. It doesn't matter. And then finally, I need you to be mindful of your action. First and foremost, make sure that you're taking action. Right? As soon as you have an idea that's good, do it. Do it as soon as you can, as soon as you find out about it. If somebody tells you you should read a book, you should download it while they're still describing it. I would say go to a bookstore, but that may not always be the best way to go. I would say order it, but ordering it at work is just obviously a little bit delayed if you're working on the physical thing. But think about that. Think about that all day. What's my perspective on this? All right, where do I stand? Where do I sit? And how am I going to utilize what I know about myself and the situation in terms of awareness to choose something that makes sense? What do I want from this? A lot of people use the word goal. Other people use the word outcome. They're both great. As long as you're aiming at something and you have a target in your mind. And then once you know where you sit, you know where you're going, then you have to plan the actions that it's going to take to get there. Some things require a little bit of planning. Some things require no planning at all. They go straight from decision to action. But the objective of the whole process is to make sure that everything you do is for a reason. It's based on something you want to be, something you want to have, something you want to get, something you want to do. Not to say that it's self-serving, but it has to come from your own genuine desire place. Because if you go through the motions of doing things you don't want to do, you're going to be busy and unhappy, which sadly is where a lot of folks are. So that's all for today. That's your daily insight. Perspective and approach. Awareness, ambition, and action. Think about that today.